Welcome to a Rated XYZ, the Coach's Room.
That's right.
Terrence, we have here Cynthia Pinkston. We'll go through her qualifications in just a second, but we are honored to have you on our podcast.
It's wonderful to be here.
So tell us about your journey, and she's going to tell us, give us some coaching tips too.
Okay. All right.
But I want to tell folks who she is. She is a master certified health coach with Aurora Network, which is a community of women Christian health and life coaches dedicated to walking alongside women to help them rise and walk into their God-given purpose. She is also a mother, a wife, very active in the church community, in the kingdom of God. She is a professional in her own right and is embracing her own journey. Cynthia, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So we're going to start this off with just a deep inspirational question.
Okay.
Who is Cynthia?
Who am I? First and foremost, I am a daughter of the Most High, God, and I am called to reflect Him well. And one of the ways I do that is by connecting with others and helping them on their journey, their health and wellness journey. I'm deeply passionate about health. I have been for many, many years. And, but I care deeply for individuals, and not only about their health, but how I reflect Christ in the process, and really kind of lifting Him up, because He is the great healer. So,
Right.
And I take it you've got your own story as to what led you there, and we'll get there in a second. But what is the underlying passion? I know you talked about Christ, and that's obviously the ultimate driver of what you do. But as far as people or situations, what's the main passion?
building relationships, because people care about what you know when they know that you care. And so foundational to health coaching is really getting to understand where people are, meeting them at their needs, and really addressing those needs and walking with them along that journey. So relationship building is paramount to coaching.
And you mentioned in the info you sent to us about your own wellness journey and what got you going. Can you share with us those pivotal moments?
Yeah. So I, for many, many years, dealt with just recurring digestive issues, just pain, constipation, stomach upset. There was a time when I would eat food, and there was no rhyme or reason to like what was kind of causing it. But I could eat something one day and be fine. The next day, I would have major GI issues. Lots of diagnoses, including depression, irritable bowel syndrome, constipation. I mean, the gamut. I mean, because they're really trying to address the symptoms. And so all of those characteristics were really kind of true. I mean, those were very common with all of those diagnoses, but there was a root issue. And that was the hard part, because no one really kind of was going to be able to help me identify what that root issue was. So I had a surgery that didn't quite resolve the issue, had my gallbladder removed, because that was another test I had that showed that my gallbladder wasn't working effectively. So again, the doctors did everything they could to try to figure out the root issue, I believe, but it just never truly resolved itself. And so around 2017, 2018, I had a period of time where the issues were kind of resolved after my gallbladder was removed. And then out of nowhere, I just had another recurrence. And this was so painful. And once again, I'm back in the ER. And it was at that moment, I was actually in my loft area. So I call it my upper room experience, where I was just laying on the sofa and just talking to God. And I clearly just heard Him say, "Do you want to be well?" And I mean, it was just such a clear voice. And I was like, I do want to be well. And then it was, well, you need to surrender. You need to surrender to me. And I can make you well. And when you're made well, I want you to go help others be well.
Wow.
And so that started a shift, in awareness, actually, around kind of the lifestyle factors that were really playing a big role into my health issues. And so I really had to take a very introspective, hard look inside about like, how are you living? How are you sleeping? How are you eating? How is stress impacting your life? So it was really a holistic approach. And that really started me on this journey of not just treating the symptoms, but really treating the whole person. And it started with me.
Yeah. So you mind me asking, so like, what was the lifestyle like?
Really busy.
Yeah.
Right. So, young children, working full time, a wife, you're trying to work and come straight home and cook and sometimes not cook and just get whatever you can get so that you can get to the next activity. And so it just was busy. And I didn't really take the time to truly care for myself in a way that required me just to be still, so from the emotional, mental health standpoint, just really understanding that if I'm not well, then I'm not going to be positioned to be able to care well for others, including my family. So I would say the best way to characterize my life was just busy. And so as a result, you just try to find shortcuts, and shortcuts with your sleep, shortcuts with your food, right? Your fuel. And then eventually it catches up to you.
Yeah, we live a convenient lifestyle. I mean, everything's convenient. So we as, Americans in this Western society, like we love convenience. Yeah. And especially when we're so busy. Like I think my job is just a snack factory because we're all on the go. We're all on the go. It's just like we don't have time to really take lunch. So it's just like when you look up, oh man, I missed lunch. Yeah. So let me grab some snacks. Yeah. And not the best snacks, right?
Right. So,
French fries. Yeah. Donuts.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. The quick energy hits. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So would you say you were a foodie?
I definitely believe so. Yes. And that was hard because this is the thing. Like growing up, I really didn't eat a lot. But what I have come to realize is that I ate a lot of sugar. So that was my energy source.
Wait a minute, we got to stop the podcast.
I know. A lot of people can relate.
Sugar is in everything.
Yeah, it's ubiquitous. It's definitely there.
I mean, it's not like, okay, well, I travel a lot. And you can go to a quote unquote healthy restaurant, but their job is to sell the food and make it taste the best.
Keep you coming back.
Going to have some sugar somewhere in the guacamole or whatever, A
little pinch.
Yeah. And you think we're not reading labels at the restaurant, but you're taking their word for it. They've got it marketed really nice, the nice pictures and the farm fresh and all this stuff. But if you pull the covers back off of it, it's probably going to have something in it some sugar or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, even if, so reading just the ingredient list is a great way to, be able to assess kind of what is in the food or food products that you're eating. I mean, ketchup, for example, it's like, it's like, why is there so much sugar in ketchup? It makes the French fries taste better.
So as you discovered you're a foodie, and sugar was the big one. And as you're saying that, if there's one person, there's 100,000 that have the same aha moment. What was that initially like to you to start changing?
So the first step was really just understanding that, the foods that were created at creation are the perfect menu plan for us. So it was shifting from the fast processed foods to just eating whole foods. That was huge. It's like, and that means that requires you to cook your food more. But that also helped me to slow down. So there were, trickle down effects that happened as a result of just like making my own food. So moving from less processed food to more whole foods. And then I also began to eat more predominantly plant-based, which also happens a little bit more naturally as you're eating whole foods. Just even making those two changes, I started to see a difference. And then I realized that the sugar really was a driving force for me. So that's when I actually kind of thought about, okay, let me create a program. And this was really just for me. I was going to use it at my church. At that time, I was leading health ministry, and I did a 10-day sugar-free challenge. But I needed to go through it first before I presented it. And I did, and it was life-changing.
Did the Saints throw you out for... You messed up the potluck.
Let's just say the whole church did not participate.
That's right.
But those who did came back. I mean, I was hearing from people like even weeks afterwards about how impactful it was and life-changing it was. And they did it with others, you know, in their family. And they, you know, so it was great just to see how others also were not great that they were also dealing with the same issues, but that people were willing to be honest about their relationship with sugar.
So what was your initial bodily reaction when you started pulling back? Was there withdrawals? Were you
Absolutely.
angry? Was it?
Absolutely. I mean, not only is your body going to be a little angry with you, but emotionally, you're going to have withdrawal symptoms. You're going to feel tired. You're going to have a little bit more fatigue. And usually around that second, third day is when it starts to surface. So you have to really be careful about just setting up your environment to nurture you during that time, because understanding that the addictive nature of sugar is going to have a physical, emotional impact. So if you withdraw it, your body's going to be like, hey, what's going on now? You know? So be prepared. Be prepared for those things.
Did that affect your family at all? Were they, you know, was Kirk like, hey, I need some. Come on, God.
They were supportive. I did it solo. I didn't, you know, I didn't want anyone to necessarily have to do it unless they wanted to do it. This was really a personal journey for me. And I wanted to be able to experience it so that I could help other people walk through it first. So, yes. But since then, my family has done it, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, and Kirk has done it. And I mean, you can't deny at the end of 10 days just how much better. It doesn't even take 10 days. Within about 5 days, you just have more clarity in your thinking, your energy levels, your sleep. So, but you got to get there, right? And it's 10 days, and it's not, this is kind of like a reset. But if you're looking at this being a lifestyle, then obviously this is something that you kind of incorporate throughout your day. And for those who just, you know, say, you know what, I'm going to have a totally different relationship with sugar. It may mean not having sugar at all, or it may mean, if you can, have it in moderation, or you're kind of tapering it to the maximum amount of sugar that even the CDC recommends, or the American Heart Association, because there are like allowable allowances of sugar. It's still probably, for the average American, they're eating 2 to 3 times more than what the allowed allowances are.
So now it's just all sugar, like fruits, processed, because right now what's popular is the watermelon fast, you know, like a lot of people, and we look for the sweetest watermelon, right? When we pick a watermelon, we're not looking for this got a little bit
thumping
sugar. We want the sweetest content out of that melon. So like, what sugar did you eliminate?
So the refined sugar, processed sugar. So And not only just the white sugar, but the white flour during this particular challenge.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, and that's kind of how I approached it, because white refined flour also converts very similar to sugar. So that there's a couple of ways you can do it, and I just chose to do it more fully this way and just dive right into it.
See, and the guilt is riding me right now. Just bought some copper yesterday. Sitting in the fridge.
I understand. But you asked a good question about the fruit. So the difference with the fruit is that now you have the benefit of the fiber. So, that's fructose, but wrapped with fiber. And so it responds, your body sees it very similar. It responds to it very similar, but you have the benefit of the fiber. So, it's obviously good for you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And it becomes a lot more sweeter when you remove the processed refined.
Now I have done fasts from sugar. I think I told you before. Through that, I found out I was a saltaholic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was weird. Because we all say we're born with a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
And I really believed that until I backed off of it and it wasn't as bad as I thought. But the chip owl, man.
Can't stay out of it.
Even the quote unquote, which don't exist, healthy chips.
Yeah.
The air fried versus the, it's still fried. But, but anyway, my point is, as I'm thinking about what you were saying and just what I went through, you talk about your faith along with this journey. Because if you're having, I had read somewhere a long time ago, like white sugar is one molecule different than cocaine or something like that. I mean, don't quote me on that, folks. I'm not a scientist, but the symptoms are similar as far as addiction. That would take some type of spiritual help.
Absolutely.
Walk us through that. How did that help you? Did it hinder you? Or things that you saw that you need to change spiritually?
Yeah. So when I shared that, what I heard God speak to me next after asking, do you want to be well, is then you need to surrender. So this is not something that you do with your willpower, right? This is about daily surrendering and understanding that the life we live is not our own. The bodies that we have are not our own. And, God is calling us to be faithful stewards to what he has loaned, he has given to us. And this is the vehicle that he will use to minister to the world. So when you think about it from that spiritual context, it's not, it takes on a more powerful purpose, to be perfectly honest. It's not simply about losing weight. It's not a diet. Right. This is truly a lifestyle of surrendering so that you can be best equipped to serve and minister and reflect Christ well.
So walk us through, all right, Cynthia is walking through the store. She's at lunch with some coworkers, Christmas time. They bring the brownies. That's just,
yes.
Because my wife works at a school and, around the holidays, the kids bake cookies for the teachers and everybody's feeling festive.
Right.
And now you got this war internally. So what did God do with Cynthia in those moments?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I still eat sweets. And there are times when I realize that I have to reset myself. In fact, I'm in one of those seasons right now. So being, fully transparent, because that's just life, right? And so I'm actually about to do my 10-day sugar reset for me personally, so that I can step back in and be, be in a place where I'm thinking a little bit more clear and having the energy that I need to move into this next season of my life. But I tend to really kind of limit my sweets. Usually I'll have a day during the weekend where we'll have a dessert. Moderation for some is acceptable and for some it's not, right? So I think you have to really understand yourself. A lot of that comes from just journaling and understanding, why are you reaching for certain foods? Are you hungry? Are you bored? Right. Are you tired? So a lot of that revelation came from journaling and understanding myself. And so that's one of the first things I really encourage people to do. The reset is great, but until you get to the deeper root issues of why you're making some of these choices, then you never really make that connection that leads to lasting change.
So can you let us into like something that you might have journaled on a day? Let's say a day you struggle.
Yeah.
What did you write down? Or you don't have to get deeply personal, but
yeah, usually those journal entries will be very similar. I probably didn't get enough sleep the night before. I was tired.
Yeah.
And then inevitably probably something happened during the course of the day. And my response to self-soothe was to eat something sweet.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I can see that.
Different scenarios, but for the most part follows the same script.
the sleep thing.
That's sleep.
Man.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
I was watching something where these guys weren't really talking about sweets per se. They were just talking about it was actually a podcast on sleep. One of the gentlemen was like, he said, when I don't get enough rest, that candy bar makes sense.
Absolutely.
Like,
you can rationalize it.
Like, yes, it does.
Like it has nuts in it. It has
that's like,
it's a smaller size.
Right.
Yeah. So in the journal you write what that day?
Usually it's a reflection. So I tend to journal later in the day, or right before bed.
Yeah.
And it's just reflecting like, man, now look how that day played out, you know, and look at the choices that I made. And it just becomes a lot more clear when you can actually connect it for yourself.
I'm not a writer, so this is like, I'm a thinker.
You can think it too. I mean, you can just actually have some quiet time and reflect.
But do you find that writing it out is very helpful?
Sometimes it is, and sometimes I find just that being still is helpful. And I may not have, I might be tired and I don't write it immediately. But if I give myself about 10 or 15 minutes just to be, that's a practice. That's a discipline actually, that I've been incorporating a lot more. And I just, that time is powerful. I'm not telling God what I need or what I think I need. I'm just being still and I'm inviting him to speak to me and reflecting. Yeah, it's powerful.
I wish I had a book right now.
All right. So faith and health. Your average person wouldn't necessarily think that those two go together, right? So how do you integrate faith with the health or vice versa? Like, how do you integrate that into your coaching?
Well, I think for me personally, when I'm sharing with prospective clients my coaching philosophy, that is really kind of the first thing that I share. My coaching is anchored in faith, and I also focus on the various lifestyle factors, how you live, how you think, how you move, what you eat, but it's anchored in faith.
Yeah.
And so that may not resonate with some, but it's integrated in every aspect of, how I coach, and the evidence-based strategies. I mean, they're science-based, but it's rooted in faith.
And so let me ask you, during that health or during those health struggles, in 2010, was it in 2010?
17.
2017.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm trying to, the timeline. So in 2010, you said that God restored your marriage. Is that?
Yes.
Okay. So can you elaborate more on that? I thought it was 2017.
17 was the health break.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So you want me to share a little bit about that journey?
If you can. Yeah.
Absolutely. So Kirk and I were married in, 1997. And then we divorced in 2008.
Okay.
So it was, a very difficult, obviously, season, and lots of factors that played into that. But, God is a restorer, and he wants families to remain intact because it is one of the primary ways that he can be reflected. Is through families. And I know that there's lots of different struggles and situations that people go through, but we are a living testimony of the power of restoration in marriage. And then I am a living testimony of the power of restoration for health as well. And modeling that is now a part of the mission for my life, and we're hoping. My family is pretty health conscious. I mean, we are physically active. Kirk and I have led group fitness classes, and it just feels like a natural, like, next step, for us to minister to others, both in their relationships, but also their physical health as well.
That brings up a good question, Terrence, that I'm thinking about is how does the family piece tie in with physical health?
Well, a family that can do this together is definitely stronger. But you also have to respect where people are in their journey. Yeah. The most powerful thing you can do is just model it. I mean, it's powerful, the message that you can convey just by living. People want to see a story sometimes more than they want to hear a story. Right. And then they're open to hearing your story, right, when they can see the change and the impact it's had on your life.
So what did your story do for your family? Because you said earlier is that you when you do your sugar fast, right? And then so you're not pushing them, but how do they respond? Well,
at different times, different ways, right? Sometimes, we may just all be in kind of a different place where we're like, I need to pull back, or, make some adjustments here. But it's really kind of a common, like, thought and idea, in terms of, like, how we prepare our meals and, just our general lifestyle, that we're going to be a little bit more mindful of what we're eating. Yeah. So I think it's, again, like I said, it's just kind of a general mindset of just making healthier choices. We don't always, like we got a snack cabinet over here.
Cookie every now and then, waiting around.
But cooking our foods and really trying to focus on making sure that they're, nutritious and including all the macronutrients. That's been great doing together as well.
And you mentioned, and obviously I'm a recipient of the pain of their fitness class. But
that was fun.
It was. You've got a statement here, and this is why I wanted to bring this up. You say movement is more than exercise, it's worship. And that's like a whole another. Can you break that down for us? I mean, you're fit yourself, your family's fit, and I'm receiving that as we see the Pinkston family, we can see God. But break that statement down for us.
Yeah, that became more of a reality for me, interestingly enough, during 2021, 22, during COVID, when I was walking more because the gyms were closed. And I was so intentional about getting up early in the morning and going on my prayer walks and then doing whatever I could, outside the gym. And I think that became, like I said, so much more clear to me that this movement was just an opportunity first of all, it's a gift to be able to move. But then when I start to realize, like, I'm able to walk, my heart is beating, it's accelerating to keep up with the pace, it's getting stronger. My muscles are getting stronger. I'm able to walk up the hills. I do hikes at the Fort Harrison State Park, and just seeing the changes that are happening in your body over time. I'm like, this is because we are so fearlessly made, wonderfully and fearlessly made, fearfully made. And, so I just, I see that as just a way of just, one, getting closer to God, but then two, honoring him with what he has created. Yes.
Man, I had a wonderful experience I left the gym one day and I felt amazing. Like I'm on my ride home, I'm praising the Lord, go home, jump in the shower, go to work. And I'm like, that was a wonderful praise God. Like I just felt so good at the work and all the drama. But anyway.
Yeah, no, it's okay. But it's a good setup.
Right. But it's a blessing. So I definitely see how the health integrates, or the movement, into worship. It is truly amazing. So in 2017, you said that you're going through the health issues, right? And then so a lot of them equated to the balance.
Mm-hmm.
Mom, wife,
Mm-hmm.
come home cooking, full-time job. So now you wear multiple hats again, right? So life coach, health coach, all those. Same, still wife, mother. So how are you keeping balance now?
Oh, prioritizing.
Okay.
Prioritizing. Not everything can get done. And I've gotten a lot better at understanding that. But key is making sure that I am prioritizing my time with God first, so that I understand what is the most important things He wants me to do. Like it literally, I'm going back to surrendering my plan, and saying, Lord, your will be done for this day. I do think there is something to be said about being intentional about like what you need to do, like writing it down. I'm going to go back to writing things down. There's just a powerful connection between like what you do and what you write. So I do try to create a list after I do my devotion time, and that my devotion time has been just so just powerful. It's and it varies. Like sometimes it's being still for 15 minutes, depending on how much time I have in the morning, and sometimes it's going for a 2-mile walk, but they're prayer walks, and I've also disconnected because usually I'm listening to I can listen to a podcast or I can listen to a devotional, but I've done a little bit of a shifting lately, and sometimes my walks simply just are quiet, so I can hear.
Wow.
So no phone with you when you go on these walks?
Phone just for safety.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm out in the park, but nothing in the ears. I get to hear the nature. I get to hear, like my thoughts and what God is speaking to me. Yeah. It's powerful.
Sounds like country living.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Whole time picturing out the country.
Birds and
birds. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Yeah. But that prioritization really has been key.
So after 2017, was there somebody that helped you? And if so, in what ways did they help you?
Yeah. I definitely have, sought support from a health coach myself, which was really good for me to have a coach as I was learning to be a health coach. Doctors need doctors and health coaches need health coaches. Right. And that's been really good. I also, make sure that I had even a business coach to understand the things that I don't know. And to get the different perspectives of others who have walked, with other individuals who are trying to achieve what you're trying to achieve. It's been really helpful and enlightening.
What do you think the biggest help that you got was?
Accountability.
That's huge.
Yes. I mean, there's an investment in your time and sometimes resources. Because most times you're investing and you're paying for this coach. So you show up and you expect something from your coach, but your coach expects something from you. Yeah. And having that accountability is good. It's a good way to stay focused.
So what do you tell a person, because it's all about me now, iPhone and selfies and YouTube University. What do you tell a person? I really don't need a coach, or how do you convince them that? Because after we've become coaches and went through the process ourselves, it was like, what took us so long?
Yes. Yeah.
But I'm sure you run into that. Well, I really don't need it, or I can't afford it. No. What do you tell people that are in that mindset? There's an information overload, right? That's happening right now. There's lots of access, like you said, YouTube and Instagram and Google and ChatGPT. Yeah. So there's no shortage of information. But there is a shortage of connection. And that's the missing component there. So going back to that relationship building and accountability, you get that with a health coach. You're not going to get that with a media. That's true.
Source of information.
Ooh, that hit.
It is.
Yeah. If you're looking for transformation.
Now, did your life coach become your mentor?
No.
Okay.
Just pretty much my coach. I mean, I like I said, I have a couple. I have a business coach and a health coach, focusing on different aspects of my journey. But yeah, but I have individuals who I consider as mentors, who are doing similar things and making pivots in their professional life. And so it's good to have those individuals to lean on and to learn from.
Yeah, because I've been coached by a couple, by a couple people, and they actually became a mentor. Like John's one. Like he coached me, right? He coached me, and then it just mentorship, family, friends, and we just integrated. So I definitely agree that the connection and you just build community, which is nice.
Yes, totally.
So then you transform, you decide I'd like to do coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's a process.
Yes.
But how does one then make that move?
Yeah. So I enrolled in a coaching program that I felt aligned with my, values in terms of lifestyle and nutrition, and that was a commitment. So I was going through that coaching certification program while working full time, and really trying to just not, again, take in the information, but absorb like the concepts of what it requires to walk someone through, creating their vision for their health and helping them to, create those specific goals and an action plan. And so it's been a journey worth traveling. I wouldn't change it for anything. And the journey continues.
So, okay, I'm gonna come to you give you a scenario.
Mm-hmm.
John Barnett, on this frame, I'm 280 pounds. I'm sick and tired of this weight, diabetic medication. I'm on high blood pressure. My knees are bad. When I get stressed, I take a little smoke every now and then. But I want to change.
Okay.
Coach Cynthia, help me.
Yeah. Well, you've already come to the realization that you want to change. So you're in a stage of change where you're open to taking some steps. So what I would ask you is, what is your vision for your health?
I would like to live longer. I know I'm going to cut my lifespan short if I don't stop my habits. I want to be able to exercise regularly. I don't necessarily have to look like I'm a gym rat, but I would like to get 100 pounds off and get off these medications if I can.
Okay. Those are excellent goals. And when you achieve those goals, how will your life be different?
Well, I'll definitely save money from doctor visits and medications. But more importantly, my time with my family won't be them worrying about me. I'll actually be able to plug into them and family functions and go on vacations without people worrying about my health and folks calling me or my wife wake me up in the middle of the night worried that I'm going to die. And it's just kind of basic, practical stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I definitely can tell that your family means a lot to you, and you're
100%.
And you're committed to being there for them, and that's important to you. I would definitely then, shift to, the why. And you've already kind of established your primary why. If you can connect someone to their why for wanting to make a change, now you're in a good position to move forward.
Okay, I'm going to sign up. Man.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm trying to look at you and say, like, man, he sounds like he really is.
I'm not 280 pounds.
I'm the reason 280. Yeah, that was really good. That was really good.
Yeah.
You got it, because I'm leading into this statement you got here. Wellness isn't about what you do, it's about who you're becoming. Explain that to us.
Yeah. I'm so glad to see, because you'll see wellness and well-being used interchangeably, but I think they're different. Like wellness really kind of focuses more on the physical aspect of it, but well-being is more holistic. Again, going back to it is how you live, how you think, how you move, what you eat. And who are you becoming as a result of that? And so I use well-being probably more because it's more reflective of the journey of becoming the best version of yourself.
So in your coaching practice, have you seen, and not even just coaching practice, I mean, you've obviously got a job and do other stuff. Have you seen people change as a person because of their health changes?
I've seen people have greater awareness, even if the lifestyle changes are still in a process of change. The most profound is really just that awareness, one, that a change needs to be made, right? Because without that, then there really isn't the ability to take the steps forward for the lifestyle changes.
So is there an aspect of humility that must come in with change?
Humility and honesty. Yeah, you got to be real with yourself. I mean, you could possibly fool me, right? Because what you just shared sounds like a great goal.
Right.
You know?
Then I go home and eat half a cake.
Like, do you really want that?
Can you tell? Can you, like, when people come to you, do you have this presence about you that somebody's serious or not, or?
Usually by the time they come, then that shows a level of, some awareness, right? They're contemplating, or they're in the pre-contemplative stage of change. But it doesn't take long to understand whether or not there could be barriers, right? But it doesn't take long to see if someone is really ready and committed to making the change. Because I don't ever want to say that people are, trying to fool me, but I think, and I said that, but I say that kind of jokingly. It is really just about like being honest with yourself and being honest, even when barriers exist. Be honest with yourself and myself, because that's part of my coaching agreement, is that we're going to be honest with each other. If you have a setback, that's okay. We're going to reset together. Right.
But where will community play in that? Because I do see some issues where people aren't following the schedule that they themselves set up, right? It's not like you've given them a plan, but where will community play in that?
Yeah. Back to accountability and support. It's the same concept of when you go to a gym, you like to work out in a gym because why? Other people are working out in a gym. Yep. So for group coaching, I think that's why it's so effective. You're with a group of individuals, like-minded, with the same purpose, walking through similar steps, and you can, feed off their energy. Yeah. You can learn from their experiences. You can reach out when you're having a day where you're struggling and those barriers to your success, are popping up. That's where group coaching, I think, is even different than individual coaching. And I'm actually going to do a group coaching program as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Called the 6-week Be Well group coaching program.
Is it for women, men, or what?
It's actually for women.
Okay.
Yeah, my coaching focuses primarily on women right now. Yeah, but maybe an opportunity to expand that.
Just get the video.
Okay. I get the video. All right.
Have your spouse join, and she can share all the information.
And I was doing, when we was on the cruise, they had the Zumba class. And I'm noticing very clearly there's like one or two men. First, I'm thinking, come on, man, we got to step up.
Because it's fun, though, right?
It is. I mean, I was going, but then I was like, well, the movements are more
geared towards women.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, nothing wrong with that. But as I was trying to mimic, and I'm like, little less hip. I did do the little Latin salsa class, so that was kind of fun.
That's great, though.
So as we land this plane, and this has just been a wealth of knowledge, information, inspiration. And you mentioned you've got a 6-week program coming up. Do you have any, first of all, before we get to the nuts and bolts of your practice, what advice do you give somebody? Somebody hears this podcast, they're young or old lady, and they're like, I want to make some health changes. what advice do you give?
Give yourself some grace, and reach out for help, right? And support when you need it. Don't shy away from sharing, where you're at and what you need with others. And most importantly, share it with God. And ask him to lead you and guide you to leverage the resources that are around you. He equips us and individuals who are here to support people. And so it's okay to reach out and say, I need some support and guidance on this journey. But give yourself some grace too in the process.
Kind of back to that community.
Yep.
We need help.
Yeah.
And how about the person that's maybe not in denial, but just they're afraid? It's something new. It's something, because we fight all kinds of limited beliefs, stereotypes, and what have you.
Yeah.
What do you tell that person?
It's okay to be a little fearful and do it anyway.
Just jump in it.
Just do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
Do it anyway. Right?
So it's almost like faith, right?
Walk by faith.
Walk by faith.
Not by sight or by how you feel.
That's it. That's good, right?
Have mercy. And as far as lifestyle changes, what do you tell them?
Start small. Yeah. And embrace and encourage yourself with those small changes. Sometimes we try to make too many changes all at one time. It's like, I want to get 8 hours of sleep and I want to, eat more, all plant-based and I want to, walk 15,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be doable for someone, but prioritize what matters most to you right now. Like, what is going to help you in this current season be your best? And start there.
Man. How can we reach you? What programs do you have in place now?
Yes. So I'm really excited because I'm going to launch the 6-week Be Well group coaching that will launch in September.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I'm working on a 3-day, which is kind of a free, kind of grace-filled Kickstarter, sugar reset, and then a 10-day, kind of a self-guided, which will also have a live coaching kind of kickoff call. There'll be a 10-day sugar reset opportunity as well. So those things are in the works, and that will probably be launched next month. And I can be reached at the Aurora Network.com website. It's Aurora Network.life website. I'm also can be reached by email at Cynthia.Pinkston at AuroraNetwork.life.
And the 6-week program, is that virtual or is that a local, like in a gym?
It will be virtual. So yes, via Zoom. And we'll probably, as I continue doing more of these, have an in-person component as well. But the first one will definitely be a virtual coaching program.
We've got one last thing to do with everybody. If you could leave our audience with one question to reflect on, what would it be? One just aha moment, one cut the light bulb on.
Question.
And maybe something you pull from your own journey.
Yeah.
Struggles.
Or what you see when you're coaching.
The
patterns you see in other people.
Well, I'll go back to the well-being and who do you want to be? How do you want to show up in this world?
It's powerful. Lot to think on, Brother Terrence.
If she had said that, I would think I would be like,
I just want these chips to stop calling my name when I go to the store.
Hey, that's a start.
Right. Well, Cynthia, we thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me. It's
and
been
we
a
really
pleasure.
feel people will benefit from this, especially from the addiction part we talked about with sugar. We only know addictions from drugs and other stuff, and it's just as real.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe more deceptive.
Yeah.
Because we think we can handle it, but in reality, it can lead to many chronic illnesses, diseases, and mental issues.
Yeah. It's become acceptable, but it's not serving us for sure.
But we appreciate you.